Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Innovation Podcast, your source for all things innovation. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Austin Smith on the line. He's co-founder and CEO over at Mission Control. Austin, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Adam.
So excited to get into what you're doing over at Mission Control today. I mean, the first thing when we were doing the warm-up, I'm like, man, where was this at when I was when I was starting out in the workforce? I mean, why didn't we have this? So let's just start off with, give us a little bit of background on Mission Control and what you do, please.
Sure, thanks. So Mission Control is a B2B SaaS platform for rec league esports. Essentially, we have a software that allows organizations, whether it be, like you said, a corporate HR department or a college intramural department or a parks and rec department, to run rec leagues. But instead of basketball and soccer, it's with esports. So it's FIFA, Rocket League, League of Legends, whatever games you enjoy. Same idea of a casual social experience like rec league traditional sports, but it's with something you love, video games.
So I have a funny story for you, Austin. You might not believe this, but I have to tell it. So when I was growing up, and when I was a kid, so I went to the first, I'm from the Midwest too, so I'm from Michigan, and I went to the first charter school in Michigan. I remember it, and it was middle school. And we were in this big office building, and so we didn't have an actual playground. So we actually had a video game league like back in the day. I'm talking Tecmo Bowl football, like first edition. Isn't that funny?
That is amazing. And I think it underlines some of the ideas of what we based off of, is that, like, I grew up playing games with my friends, playing games with my siblings as a way to, like, spend time together, as a way to hang out. And the thing about esports right now, especially in pop culture, is that it's so big, it's so professional, it's all about streaming and influencers. And the thing is, like, all of that is true and it exists, but there's so much more. And a lot of it has to do with, a lot of us grew up playing, hanging out as a way to bond over video games. And the idea of bringing that professional league structure and that traditional sports structure to esports, in the sense that you can also do rec league esports, is so big, and it connects with so many people. And that's why you're saying, hey, I wish this existed, before, when I was growing up in the workforce or whatnot. And you know what? Finally it does. Here we are, Mission Control.
I love it. And so what kind of responses have you gotten from the people that are using this product? Because to me, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's like, I can see, like, engagement, all these other things. Like, what kind of numbers do you have for me? Tell me a little bit more about the response you've gotten.
Sure. I mean, it's been overwhelmingly positive. I think what exists out there now, or before we did, is a very competitive scene. And that competitive scene is exciting and it's necessary. It has a lot of great things around it, varsity, college esports, high school esports even. You have professional and amateur stuff, of course, but it left out a large group of people, and that is the group of people who like to play casually, bond with friends. It's a social experience more than a competitive experience. And what we hear from those people, the people who don't necessarily identify as a gamer but enjoy playing games, is that this is the most fun they've ever had playing video games. They are coming to play on our platform. They sign up for a league. They're playing every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Playing FIFA or Fortnite, whatever their favorite game is, and they are all saying, like, the user feedback is, wow, this is the most fun I've ever had playing video games. It's organized, it's structured, it's with my friends. It's a little bit of a purpose being, I can win this league, but it's not, playing against the most competitive people. So there's an actual chance to have, that drama of winning something. And I think even if it's just a T-shirt or a high five that they're winning or bragging rights, it's a really entertaining experience. On the organization side, our actual customers who we sell to, we have amazing feedback from groups like Duke University, the Dallas Parks and Rec Department. We even work with GameStop in a couple of their stores as a pilot in Tulsa. And all of these customers are saying, hey, this is a great way to use esports as a way to facilitate community. And that's where we're at today. A lot of people need community at a crazy time like this during the effects of COVID-19, and we can do that digitally. And you can't do that with traditional sports, but you can do it with esports. And so especially today, we're getting a lot of great feedback about, wow, esports is how we can facilitate community.
Yeah, another thing that I see is just, employers are often talking about retention and how do you keep an employee longer and how do you keep, I mean, to me, this also seems like just one of those, how did it start out? Once upon a time, it was like, oh, we have a ping pong table, or oh, we have this, or oh, we provide snacks. It's like, so, the competition for talent is hard. And so if you think about things like retention of employees, I have to imagine this would be like a big win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have 3 core deliverables that we give to our customers. They either identify with one or more of these. And one is that it's number one thing is amenity. Whether it's Duke University or a corporate HR department, they care about bringing, like, for example, students to their school and then keeping students at their school. And if they have a cool amenity like Esports rec leagues, they have, they're appealing to that many more people. And the thing is, for us, we did this and we found out very quickly that 45% of the users on our platform had never been a part of that rec department before. So they're appealing to a giant new group, a giant new demographic of kids that, maybe aren't interested in playing real soccer, but are maybe interested in playing FIFA, for example. So there's a large demographic push there. But secondarily, beyond the amenity thing, which is huge, is that these organizations can also use our platform to charge for these leagues and make it a revenue stream. And they could also learn new things about their demographics. Like, that's the third thing, is they can learn some pieces like, hey, how can we bring in 45% new individuals? Well, you can offer esports as well.
That's awesome. And so what are so there's a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, executives out there listening, and leaders and decision makers in many organizations. What are the right types of fit for Mission Control? Like, what's the right type of company, the size, the demographic? Like, give us a little bit on that, please.
Absolutely. I mean, gamers are a very big group. There's 164 million gamers in the United States. So you can see that's a good portion of the population. 103 million of those individuals play multiplayer video games, and the U.S. Census Bureau tracks that as an average of 8 hours a week. That's a massive amount of time spent for people playing video games, and that's a massive group of people. So the whole point of, like, who does this fit? It fits the grand majority of people. If you have a business, if you are, the HR department for a business, you're probably working with a great deal of video game players. Average age 35, a large portion of them are female, even though the stereotypes of what you think of a gamer isn't either one of those things. So it appeals to a large group of people. And generally, if you're trying to facilitate a sense of community, you're focused on recruitment and retention, or you want to add a revenue stream to your current business that does something along the rec services side, then this is a platform that you could use. It's very simple to start. It's a great thing for private groups or corporate groups to say, hey, let's do something to keep everybody together and do a community thing, especially entirely digitally. It can be in person or digitally right now. Digitally is what we're doing, but that's where we're at, and we can help a lot of groups, facilitate the community. Man,
that's awesome. So, Austin, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on Mission Control, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Absolutely. You can find us in a lot of places, but the best thing to do is to go to missioncontrol.gg and learn about more on our website, and just follow the interest forms from there.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Austin, been great having you on the show today. Love what you're doing. Love how you're helping employers. Love how you're helping universities, the parks. I mean, the whole nine. I mean, you're doing a lot of great work there. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Leave me a review in the Apple iTunes Store. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Innovation, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave some comments in the video. I mean, I'd love to know what you're working on and what kind of things you have going on in your world. And Austin, thanks again for coming on the show.